We'll talk next to Wayne. He's listening in Oxford, Georgia. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Hank. What is your opinion of Jonathan Cahn, the book, The Harbinger?
Yeah, it's, again, this is a classic example of the prostitution of the Bible, and I hope there's a theme in this program. I'm unapologetic about this theme. The Bible's being prostituted over and over again so that people can communicate whatever they want to communicate, and that's why it's so critical that we learn to mine the Bible for all its wealth. Cahn projects the judgment of Isaiah 9:10 to some future event. Is there any warrant for that whatsoever? Well, the prophet warned of coming judgment upon the unrepentant people of the northern kingdom of Israel. And so if you look at Scripture and interpret it in light of Scripture, you find that their day of reckoning came to pass when the Assyrian armies took them into exile. The axe of God's judgment fell as a result of that on the northern kingdom. He takes that and he telescopes that into the 21st century. And not only that, but he's saying in essence that he knew that 9/11 was going to happen before anybody else knew 9/11 was going to happen, because he had a prophetic word about 9/11. And one wonders, if he really knew what was going to happen, why didn't warn everybody in the Twin Towers to get out and get away before it did happen? At least he could have tried.
Okay, I'm glad to hear you say that, because he's been featured on a number of Christian TV stations. I hear him all the time when I'm flipping through, and I just had to know what you thought before I pursued him any further, because he's quite convincing in his presentation.
Well, again, they all are. I mean, you listen to him, and honestly, if you don't have discernment skills, it sounds fairly convincing. The audience is just going wild and clapping and applauding, and everybody thinks, wow, this makes sense. But when you stop to think for just a moment, and that's the problem, we don't have time to stop to think, because we live in an age of immediacy. So what happens is you hear one sound bite, whether it's on Christian television or secular television, you hear a sound bite, and then you hear another sound bite, and then you have an advertisement. And before you have a chance to ponder the sound bite, you're already trying to decide whether Tide is going to get your underwear cleaner than some other detergent. So your mind is off the subject. I mean, it could be a subject of people being killed in Rwanda, and suddenly you're thinking about detergent. So we really don't have time to ponder things as we once had time to ponder things, because we're getting instant gratification, and technique is trumping theology and sound thinking.
Well, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your time.
You got it. Thank you so much for your call.